Right, I want to welcome you to our goal setting workshop. And before you start to moan and groan and say, Ross, what the fuck is this? I really want you to consider this and open up your heart and your soul to acknowledge what I'm trying to share with you. You see, one of the biggest reasons people don't hit their targets and they don't hit their goals is simply because they don't actually know what they want. Now sure, like they have a vague idea of what it is they want. They want to be happy, they want to be pain-free, they want more money, they want a better life. But do they actually know what it is they really want when we look at the tangible outcomes? You see, we're going to look at how much weight you want to lose, how much muscle you want to build, the job you want at the end of the year, the income that you want in your life, where and when. Now, most men are too fearful to actually declare these things. But worse than that, not only do most people, and including myself, I did this mistake so often, I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go, but more importantly, what would need to be true about the facts. What would need to be true about me when that happens? Because here's the thing that I didn't understand about the goal setting process. The thing I didn't understand about the goal setting process was that I thought about the shit that was out there, the shit that I wanted. But more importantly, I didn't realize who I needed to become. You see, we've talked about already about you becoming more to create more. And if you don't become more, if you don't have a greater capacity in yourself to be more, you'll never make it through this journey to high performance. You must be more before you do more. And inside of getting more, you must be more. So it's one thing to write down exactly what you want, exactly what it looks like. But the next question I want you to consider, who do you have to become? What habits does that person have? What does that person eat each day? How do they train? How do they exercise? How do they hold themselves? Does that person lead from the front? Is that person confident in his ability to get shit done? You see, the guy you currently are and the guy you want to be are two completely different people. They're not the same guy. But I never once considered this. You see, I never realized that I had to change me in order to produce that outcome. So as a result of not changing me, I never got what I wanted, and it was crazy. You want to know what is even more crazy? Most people don't get what they want, not because they don't know who they need to become or what they need to do. But most people don't get what they want because they don't understand the facts of where they are today. And if you think about this, it's like opening up Google Maps and putting in one spot inside of your destination, but not actually figuring out or knowing where you are today. Google can't actually show you. Google Maps will not show you the way. It will not lead you to the pathway. You will not know what to do because you have not put down where you are currently. And so if you start from a location, if you want to go to £1 million in your bank account but you start from zero, it's a completely different game from if you start at 999,000. So in today's workshop, what I want you to do is sit back. I want you to click on the link below and download the worksheet. I want you to grab yourself a pen and a piece of paper. I want you to pause this video right now. I mean it. Pause this video right now. Get a pen, get a paper, get 2 pieces of paper. And inside of this worksheet, you and I are going to work through a series of questions to get you clear, to give you clarity. Because clarity is going to give you power. But what you're going to see is not what you need to do, but who you need to become. And what needs shifting, And what's stopping you along the way to hit these goals? See, I don't believe in actually just telling you what to do. That, I will do exactly that. I will tell you what to do. But the question is, will you become the person that can execute on it? Will you become the person that says, yep, I love exercising, I love training, yep, I love stretching, yep, I love being disciplined. I'm going to get better because I know that currently where I am is producing the body that I currently have. But here's the biggest kicker. The habits that you have right now are producing the body you have right now. You see, if we strip it down, David, who's currently 10 kilograms overweight and has chronic lower back pain, I just have to look at his eating and posture habits, and I'll be able to tell based on who he is the result that he'll have. But if I want David to change his results, I must lead him to change who he is. I must change his habits. I must change his behavioral patterns. I must change the way he thinks, the way he acts, the way he views exercise, the foods that he eats. All of these things we must change if we want to alter the outcome. So, your habits lead you towards your body. If you want to change this body, if you want to change your body fat percentage, if you want to build lean, strong muscle, if you want to align your spine and eliminate pain, you must change your habits. You must change your identity. Because your habits are creating your current results. So, I want you to take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and hold and breathe it out. I just want you to feel that with me. I just want you to know that right now we're going to go through a process that allows you to get to the facts, that allows you to get to the truth. There's one reason why you're here, and it's to improve, it's to be better, it's to be more. Not to be average, not to be where you were, it's not to be fake or to pretend. You're here because you want help becoming more. But if I don't get you to the truth, then I can't help you. Because we are beginning our foundation from lies, a foundation that is not solid, a foundation that does not exist. And inside of this foundation, if you can't get down to the truth, then I can't help you. So let's get the music up. I want you to sit back and I want you to really feel this. I want you to feel this entire journey as we go through and we answer a series of questions. So if you have your pen and a paper, please take it out. If you don't, then please pause this video right now. Get a pen, get a couple of pieces of paper, and get ready to write. Get ready to write and flow inside of your writing. I'm going to ask you a few questions right now. And the first question I want to ask you is, where are you at? Where are you at inside of your life today? Where are you at? How is life going for you? Are you where you want to be right now? Are you at the right place in your career? Are you happy in your relationships? Are you happy with your body? Where are you at? And I just want you to reflect on the question I've just asked. It's not an easy answer. In fact, when people ask me this, I get stunned. As I keep talking, I want you to keep reflecting. Where are you at inside of your life today? Write this down. Where are you at? How's it going? How does it feel? Is it going well? Not so well? Is it going up? Is it better than last year? Where are you at? And why are you here? Let's get to the truth of things. So as I get you to keep writing, I want to allow you this time to really reflect, get to the truth. Because if you can't connect with you, then you can't connect with other people. If you're going to tell yourself the truth, then you're going to be oblivious. If you're oblivious, then you can't change the truth. You can't own it. You can't fix it. So inside of where you're at, I want you to uncover the facts. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the worst pain imaginable, burning alive, how bad has your back pain been this past week? How bad has your back pain been? And explain in detail why you've chosen that number. You see, during this journey, we want to track this figure. We want to track your progress in the early stages by this scale to see when it's safe to move you forwards. Now, the next question I want to ask you is, how long have you been suffering with this problem? How long have you had this pain in your life? When do you feel pain more intensely? Is it in the mornings? Is it in the evenings? Is it at work? When? Why do you think that happens? Does your back pain affect your sleep at night? Does it stop you from doing the activities that you would otherwise be doing? Has it stopped you doing hobbies? Are you currently numbing the pain with painkillers, anti-inflammatories, steroids? Have you ever had a formal diagnosis for this injury? If so, I want you to rip that diagnosis up. Throughout this program, it doesn't matter what you've been told. That diagnosis is a curse. That diagnosis causes you to live with it as a label, to lean on it as an excuse. It's a poison to your mindset, and we must move away from it. Finally, in this section, what have you done to try and relieve this pain previously? We now move on to your posture. Do you sit down for the majority of your day? Are you getting up, sat down, eat breakfast, sitting down? Whilst driving to work, you're sitting down, sat at a desk for the day, sitting down as you drive home, and then sitting on the sofa all evening? Do you often think and try and correct your sitting posture? Are you sat watching telly in the evenings? How do you sit on your sofa? Think about it. Do you feel pain in your back when you stand for long periods of time? Do you have a certain position you like to get in to relieve the back pain, whether it's the fetal position? Write all this down and go into as much detail as you can, because the facts will set you free. The facts will uncover what it is we need to change. The facts will highlight the problems right now. Now, you are what you eat, so let's look into your nutrition habits. Are you drinking 3 litres of water each day? Your muscles are 60% water, so it's not good if they're dehydrated. Are you getting your 5 a day of fruit and veg? Do you eat good quality protein? Do you eat shitty processed foods? Are you consuming healthy fats, avocados, nuts, seeds? Carbs each day? Do you even know the difference? Sweet, we're going to look into the other facts, into your habits right now. Are you a smoker? If so, how many? How many a day? How many days per week do you have an alcoholic beverage? How many days per week do you exercise? What do you do when you exercise? How many times a week do you stop to think and reflect? I'm serious. Do you ever reflect? Do you ever meditate? Journal? Do you have set routines in your life that will create the results that you want? Or are your routines that of someone that is not achieving what he wants? Do you get 8 hours of sleep each night? Okay, we're moving nicely on painting a picture of where you're at. Now, do you have the knowledge to create a path to get you to your desired result? Do you know what to eat and drink and how much? Do you know what types of exercise are most effective for you and your back pain? Do you know the optimal amount of exercise is to perform each day? Do you know what it is actually causing your back pain in the first place and how to prevent it? Cool. Time to get a few layers deeper now into these facts. Stay with me on this. It's really important that we unveil these truths. If I'm moving too fast, just pause the video and continue. Where are you with your health and fitness right now? Are you in shape? Are you strong? Are you fit? Are you happy with your health? Are you happy with your fitness? Are you happy with your mental health right now, your mindset? Are you happy with your relationships and your environment around you right now? What's working well in your life today? What's some of the things that you've done? What's some of the things that you're proud of? What's some of the things that you feel good about in your life? I want you to take a moment and I want you to jot this down. Have a feeling of goodness, because there are skills that you've acquired along the way. You've had to be somebody. You've had to acquire habits. You've had to support, be there, be someone's rock in order to have those things. So I want you to think about that carefully. So as you begin to write that down, I want you to transition and move on to the next question. The next question is, what isn't working inside of your life today? Do you have stress problems? Do you feel low on energy, the same way I felt? Do you have problems with making time to see your friends? Do you feel distant from your partner, your spouse? You're unable to connect as you keep her at arm's length because all you feel like you do is moan about your day and your back. Maybe you have a fear. Maybe you have a fear of putting yourself out there. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you're afraid to add time to exercise into your schedule because you're already so busy you don't think you'll be able to cope. Maybe you can't focus at work because your back pain is draining you of any life that you have. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what isn't working inside of your life right now. What's happening currently inside of your life that's letting you down? So as you take a moment to write that, I also want you to think about all the things that aren't working. But more importantly, how does that make you feel? Just take a moment, write it down, your feelings. Take a moment to look at what isn't working inside of your life and take a moment to actually just think and feel it and allow that feeling, because that feeling is fire. That feeling is going to be the feeling that you're going to use to grow. It's really important that you put your all into this. It's really important that you keep writing and you do not stop writing. It's important that you allow yourself to flow from your heart and not your brain. The most important thing is that you allow yourself to see where you currently are today, what you currently have in front of you today, who you currently are, and what you currently produce. Do you see the problems you are facing right now? What are they? Write them down. Are you clear on where you are right now? Your starting point in this back to life journey. Now what I want you to do, once you've done that, is I want you to draw a little picture, a little person in the bottom left-hand corner of your page. And I want you to put a circle around him. And I want you to say, that is where you are today. And then what I want you to do is draw an arrow pointing up towards another person. And that's the person of who you want to create. Who is this person? And I really want you to think about, who does this person have to be in order to start producing the things that you want? And as you start drawing this person, I want you to answer this next question on the next page, on a new page. In the next year, the next 12 months, where do you want to be in your life? What do you want to achieve over the next 12 months together? So that you could see the result in solving your problems. How strong would you like to be? What activities will you be doing? What hobbies will you be doing? What events have you completed? What do you want? If you were a kid walking up to Santa Claus at Christmas, what would you ask for? Santa, I want this. You see, one of the craziest things about men is we confine ourselves to what we believe we can have. Yet that's all a belief, that's all a story. We haven't figured out a way because we're not thinking big enough. What do you want? What do you want to see in your life? Close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes, I mean it. When you do this with me, think about the person you want to be. A man, free from back pain, strong. What do you look like? What does this person in 12 months look like? What kind of routines does this person have? Are they disciplined? What does this person do in their spare time? Who does this person associate themselves with? Is this person a leader, a role model? Is this person happy? Open your eyes for me. So I want you to think about that image. And I want you to go back to that man, the man that you drew, and under him, I want you to write down all the things you've just visualized. Think about who this person has to become. Think about it and breathe it in. And again, just visualize who it is you have to become. Who is this person in 12 months' time? Who are they like? Are they vibrant? Are they talkative? Are they brave? Are they a leader? Are they certain? Are they confident? Do they get shit done? Are they believable? Are they smart? Do they want to grow? What do they do? What are their habits? Close your eyes again for a second and think about this vision deeply. Then write down all of the things that you are seeing right now of this person. As a result of them producing that, who do they have to become? What is this person that you see yourself as? Who do you see yourself as? What do you do? What are the skills? What are the mindsets that you take on? I want you to sit down and write all that down right now. Who is this person that you need to become? What do they look like? What are their skill sets? Are they loud? Are they strong? Are they weak? What are their routines? Do they work? Do they enjoy working? What are they doing? Are they talking? Are they creating? Are they building? I want you to sit down and write all those things next to this person in the top right corner. Here's the most amazing part. We've done two things right now. We've uncovered the facts, and we've uncovered the facts of where you are right now. We've gotten clear on what the facts of where you actually want to go. We've actually looked into and got insight into who it is you want to become. There's one key, critical question that I always ask. What's standing in your way? What's standing in your way? What are the biggest obstacles that stand in your way right now? On that line, what is the obstacle? If you go and draw that line out between who you are today and your vision of the future, and you might end up with 3 or 4 different lines. What are the 3 or 4 different obstacles between where you are today and where you want to go, what is it? If you could do this, you could get that. Like, what would you need to do to get that? If you knew this, you could get that. What's your heart? What's your brain telling you? Do you need to know how to build confidence? Do you need to know how to exercise properly with good form and posture? Do you need to learn about nutrition and having anti-inflammatory ingredients in your foods? Do you need to schedule time for you to meditate and clear your head each day? Do you need to be more present with your family? What are the things you need to do in step by step order? I want you to think about that. And I want you to sit down and I want you to allow yourself to soak it in. Look at the facts in front of you. Look at the facts of who you currently are. And look at the facts of where you actually want to go. What are the skills that you need to acquire along the way? What don't you know that if you knew, you could make this happen? How do you go from a life in pain, restricted by pain, and your mindset and your stories? What do you need to know? What are the obstacles standing in your way? Do you need to get up earlier? Do you need to read more? Do you need the habits? What are all the things, all the obstacles that are standing in your way right now? Keep writing these down. List them out. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to think about it. Maybe the first obstacle is that you work long hours. Or maybe you're like Ross. I don't know what to eat to nourish my body. Or maybe you're like Ross. I've lost so much connection with my wife that I don't know how to regain her trust back. I suck at my job. I suck at exercise. What is it that's stopping you from living the life you truly want? Because really, it's in your control. You have a choice. This is the facts. And this is really, really cool, right? Because together, right now, what it is we're doing, we're creating your roadmap. We're creating a pathway. We're creating a solution for you. So what are the obstacles? You might write down 2, you might write down 5, you might write down 8. Whatever it is, make sure that they're real obstacles that we're going to overcome. Write them down. Just list them down there. Once you've written your obstacles down, it's now time to assess them. Like, really figure out what they are. And I want you to dive into each of your obstacles and I want you to think about them. Write them down and create a little space in between them. Go onto a new page if you need to. Write down the first obstacle that you thought of. Write it down below. And really think about that obstacle now. And go, well, what's the story I have around this obstacle? How do I feel about it? I'm going to give you an example. Your obstacle might be that you're in too much pain to exercise. You might go, I can't get down on the floor. If I exercise, I'll damage my back even more. The story behind exercising is we don't know. It may aggravate things. Do I want to be doing that? Maybe the story you have has come from a previous attempt to exercise and your back went into a huge spasm or you damaged a disc. Maybe you've heard really bad stories. Maybe your doctor has warned you against it. Maybe you've had a bad experience around that obstacle. And write down the story you believe to be true around that. Because that obstacle is an obstacle that you and I are going to need to overcome in order for us to move forwards, for us to build a strong body that serves you, for us to develop the confidence of a leader. So in order for us to grow, we're going to need to overcome that obstacle. But if we don't know what the story is behind it, we can't ever overcome it. So what I want you to do, I want you to take a second and write down the stories around the obstacles you have. Why do you believe that they're an obstacle to you? Now, the second story that you might have might be, shit, Ross, I work long hours every day. I commute. I don't have time to fit all this in. What's happened? Maybe you've fallen so out of touch with investing time into yourself, you've filled that time with other things. Is there absolutely nothing you can sacrifice so you can fit 20 minutes of exercise in a day? But whatever the obstacle it is, I want you to write it down, and I want you to write down that story, because that story in itself right now is a story that's holding you back from succeeding in life. And as your story changes, so will your actions. So I want you to take a few moments, and as I'm talking to you, I want you to just keep writing, keep writing. Write down the stories of every single obstacle until you get clear with why you believe that obstacle to be so hard. Why is it so hard? Why is it an obstacle? Why do you feel like it's an obstacle for you? Maybe you're not good at it. Maybe you suck at it. Maybe somebody did something to you. Maybe the people that you surround yourself with judge other people like that, and you don't want to be like that. Maybe you're scared to fail. Maybe you're scared to exercise because you're scared of making your back worse. Whatever the case may be, I just want you to think about it. Because here is the chance for you to understand the stories that are holding you back. The obstacles that you have, you're making them strong. Like these fucking stories are making your obstacles so strong. But I want you to understand, they're like a fucking door that you can break down. But you're turning this story, this obstacle, into a castle because it's fueled by a massive story, and that belief is not serving you. So let's find out what it is I want you to think. And if you need more time, then I really want you to pause this. Honestly, take more time. But really allow yourself to figure out what the story is. Okay? And once you've done so, I want you to go onto a new sheet of paper. I want you to write down all the obstacles again. I want you to write down all the obstacles with a space in between them. What are all the obstacles that you've faced? And I want you to think about, like, well, holy shit, if I was at Christmas and I was seeing Santa Claus, and I could ask Santa Claus to give me superpowers, what stories would I need to have in order to knock these obstacles down? So the obstacle might be that I don't have enough time. What stories will I need to have? What stories must be true? What stories would need to be true? What would I need to believe? What are the facts that need to happen in order for that story to be true? So that that obstacle is no longer an obstacle to you. You know, there's a lot of stories that I came up with and had to overcome when I was suffering with back pain. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. And literally, I turned that into, I'm going to become the best therapist. I'm going to master it. I'm going to study. I'm going to study it every single day. I'm going to be a master at it. And that's what led me to enroll at university. So I could become an expert at this. So I no longer had to rely on others to save me, but I could experiment and test and save myself. And the stories continue to shift. Instead of me telling myself that it was too hard or too slow, I shifted my stories. I shifted my story to, well, this shit is hard, it's slow, but it's what I need to do to better my life, so I'm going to do it. And that when I found a method that worked, I would go into the marketplace and help thousands of other men who suffered like I was. That it was my duty to do the work, to figure this shit out so others didn't have to. And finally, that I believe this program is better than anything else available out there to men. And if I wasn't to master this, I'm actually allowing more men to experience more pain, and I'm not willing to do that. And as soon as I changed my story, I knew I had to double down on this program to make it the best damn program I could build, and then deliver that message to you so you don't have to suffer anymore. So all of your stories, like what would need to be true, because I want you to think about it right now, if it's true. Say your story is that you're not good enough. That story is not doing you any good. And the story you must replace it with is, I am worthy. I must get good at this shit to move forward. And me not being good enough is great because it's an opportunity for me to get better. And when I get better at it, I'll grow and I'll feel better. And when I feel better, I can give the best version of myself to my family, to my friends, to my job, which then improves their lives. And that just goes round and round. There's nothing wrong with wanting more from life. The fact most people are living shitty lives is because most people aren't solving their problems, and they're stuck in their stories. They're stuck in this idea that they're a victim, that they're trapped, restricted. So I want you to keep writing all the obstacles that you have. What are the new stories that you need to have in order to overcome those obstacles? What are the new stories that you need to have? Really think about it. Like if you had those new stories, that superpower, those little doors you'd be able to knock down, and it would be a piece of cake. Now really, just take some time to think about these obstacles, these doors, and really just allow yourself to flow from that. And the next question I want to ask you is, what are you going to do to change your current story? Because you know what current stories you have, you see the obstacles, what are going to do to change the current stories. What do you need to do? If you want to knock down that door because you know there are 3, 4, 5 doors that are holding you back from where you currently are to where you want to go, and those are the doors that aren't doors anymore. They're castles because you've allowed them to build. What are you going to do? What are the skills you want to learn? What are the mindsets? What do you want to do? What do you want to be empowered with? Now I can give you the skills, the tools, the knowledge, the mindsets, the growth, everything you need so you can become more. You see, once you learn that experts are not born experts, they're made. And that you, my friend, you are just beginning your journey. You're just starting out. And the only thing that is stopping you from becoming an expert in your own body is your ability to put in the daily work, the reps. What are the reps that you know you need to put in inside of this space to make this better? I want you to do something for me. I want you to go and ask yourself this next question. The question is, are you committed to changing this story? Are you committed to putting in the fucking reps? Don't just say yes. But understand, by you putting in the reps, you are going to have to sacrifice something. That by you putting in the reps, you don't just say you're committed. You put in the reps by realizing that something needs to die. That you need to sacrifice something in order for you to climb up the ladder. You must take your foot off the bottom step, feel uncertain, and climb up. There's a risk to climbing. And so inside of you overcoming your story, there is something that you must sacrifice. Are you committed to that? And what are you willing to sacrifice to get there? Now, a lot of the times this might be shit. I need to sacrifice my habits. I can't do this shit anymore. I'm going to sacrifice social media. There's just too much procrastination on there. I'm going to sacrifice that 2 hours of TV I watch in the evening because that does nothing to help me grow my life. I'm going to sacrifice the late nights so I can get up each morning and exercise. What are you going to sacrifice because you are committed to changing this current story? Maybe you're spending 3 hours a day just playing around. That's 3 hours a day you can spend learning, exercising, preparing your food. What are you willing to sacrifice because you're committed? And in answering that question, I want you to think about why. Why must you do this? Because inside of you, sacrificing, there must be a why. Why must you do this for yourself? Now, I know you don't care a lot about yourself. I don't care a lot about myself either. We don't do jack shit for ourselves, which is why you've allowed your body to drift and get in this way. We don't care. But why must you do it for yourself? Why must you do it for your family? Why must you do it for your loved ones, your partner, your spouse? I want you to write down why. And I want you to write down the people it will affect if you don't do this. If you don't do this, what will happen to your relationships? If you don't do this, what will happen to your friendships? What will happen? What will people think of you? Are you going to be reliable? Are you going to be trustworthy? Are you going to be what? Creating another pattern like, there you go again. That person just fucking flopped. I knew it. Do you want people to think that about you? Why must you succeed? Why is this a must? Why are you committed to knocking down these fucking obstacles? I'm not asking why are you committed to eliminating your back pain. I'm asking you, why are you committed to knocking down these obstacles based on the stories that you've told yourself before? Why? And who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for your kids? Are you doing it for your loved ones? Are you doing it to find love? Are you doing it because you need to grow? You want to be someone in this world. You want to prove it to your friends, your family, your parents. Why? Use your rage as a fuel. Write down and let everything out. And as you begin to write it out, I want you to sit and think about why. Most of the times I was asked this before, I didn't know why. Because I'd never fucking sat down and thought about why. Inside of this place, I really want you to use this time to dig deep. I really want you to use this time to figure out why you are here. What brought you here in the first place? What made you click on the ad? Come here to have a conversation with me. Put down some money. What got you here and what drove you? And write that down now. And as you begin to write this down, I want to acknowledge you, because what you've done is you've gotten clarity. You've built your vision. This has been a long video, but it's been powerful. I want you to review this every single day, because right now you're going to write a statement of declaration. You're going to write a statement, and underneath that statement you're you're going to write, you're going to insert your name, I, Ross, am committed to having the result in my life. What is the result that you want inside of your life? Insert that in now. Your result might be that you want to have completed a marathon pain-free and been promoted at work into a managerial role. By 12 months from now, enter that date in now. I understand my current obstacles include my time management, my fear of aggravating my back pain, my working environment, my friends, because I keep telling myself the story that I'm too busy or I don't have the energy. And as a result, it's holding me back from achieving a pain-free marathon or the promotion that I want from work. I am committed to exercising my body every single day. I'm committed to nourishing my body with good foods, getting enough sleep. I'm committed to sacrificing TV in the evenings so I can get up earlier, to overcome my obstacles that stand in my way. I'm committed to doing this for Kirsty, my partner, because I want to look after her. I want to be the man. I want to support her. I want to allow her the freedom, but also the certainty and the security that she knows that I can look after her and our small family. Because if I can't lead myself, I can't help anybody else. This is my why. Please take this signed sheet as a commitment and honor to myself. For if I cannot commit to myself, I cannot commit to anybody else around me. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down this declaration statement in your own words. The template's in the worksheet that you've downloaded. With your own tasks, with your own commitments, with your own stories, fill out this declaration. Then I want you to print it out and I want you to sign it. And if you don't have access to a printer right now, I don't care. I want you to rewrite this in your notebook. I want you to sign it and I want you to date it. I want you to rip it out and I want you to read it every single morning. Hang it somewhere you can see every single fucking morning and read it to yourself. Congratulations. You are now one step clearer to achieving the results and goals that you want to achieve. And more importantly, what you have right there are the obstacles that are standing in your way, the stories that you're currently telling yourself. But more importantly, you're now empowered with the skill sets as well as the mindsets that you need to have in order to break through these doors. I want to congratulate you and thank you for going through this process with me.